Today is Friday, February 7th, and I finished Yellowbird slash aka Pinkbird. So yeah, I finished it. I think this took 6 days. It had about 1,450 stitches in it. So that's not the best pace for me. And I won't lie, I feel like being on the 40 count is kind of what slowed me down. So just again, I think I gave all these stats last time, but this is Yellowbird by La Di Da. And the fabric is a 40 count Verdal from Bestitch Me in the colorway Blossom. And I used a Rainbow Gallery Splendor silk. And I was inspired by Bridget the Museum Stitcher and Cam the Stitcher. Is it Cam the Stitcher? I can't remember. Who have done pink on pink projects. And I bought all this when I was at a shop in Evansville, Indiana. I think it's called Stitches from the Heart. But yeah, so, and that was almost a year ago. It was a year ago in April. But yeah, started it, finished it. Thankfully, this chart basically required like no counting very far off of anything. Like no more than like 2 stitches was, I think the farthest I counted was down here at the bottom, in the bottom left corner. I didn't start that branch in the corner. I started it at the furthest point to the right, so I had to count 3 stitches to get to that. Everything else basically touched, or I made it touch. Like I'm counted off of spots where things touched, and I stitched in a way so that I could do that. And it wasn't bad. I mean, 40 count and I are not going to be best friends, but it wasn't bad. And this was an interesting experiment for me because I do have a project. I inherited a whip that is on 40 count and I really, really want to finish it. But I've just been unsure because it's a large project. And there has got to be a minimum of about 9,000 to 10,000 stitches left. So that's a lot of stitches to do. But I think I can do it. I think after doing this, I think I can do it. I may take me longer than it would, normally. For some reason, this just felt like it drug on and on and on. I don't know why. I had that experience. Like, I simultaneously cannot believe that it's already a week into February, and also, like, it felt like I worked on this for 2 weeks, not for a week, But yeah, it's done. I'm gonna take it to Acorns the next time I go, and I don't know what I'll have it turned into. Either a pillow or like a little wall, like they call it a door hanger. And basically a door hanger is the exact same finishing style that you would do for like an ornament. Like you wrap it around a board, you put a little trim on it, either pom-poms or rickrack or something, and then you put like this has like a backing, a backing with fabric, and then you put like a ribbon or a cording or something to make a hanger like you would for an ornament. It's just, this is just too big to be a ornament. So they call an ornament that's too big to be an ornament is called a door hanger. So yeah, it'll either be a pillow or a door hanger. And now I have picked up Move Forward in Love. Gotta back up a little bit now. I got the big Q snap out so that I could fit the whole thing on. This is not my starting point, because when I picked it up earlier, people were awake, and so I started stitching. Basically, I put in this corner, that line there, all of this line work down here. It's only been about 180 stitches or so. But y'all, so like I love this piece. I'm definitely not going to give up on this piece. I want this piece done, but I kind of forgot how much I hate stitching on it. It's too many color changes. It's too many, like it's hard, right? You can see, like to get from one spot to another spot, I have to do a lot of half stitches to go out and then half stitches to come back. And so it's, yeah, and then I have to do like a lot of running thread under other thread to get like all those little red berries up in the left corner. Like the red thread is just run under everything. But what I think I'm going to do is, so like I've only worked on this twice because I started this in June of 2022. Or wait, maybe, no, I started it in June of 2023. So I worked on it in 23 and I worked on it in 24. And when I worked on it in 23, I only really did like that top corner and not even, and I maybe I worked down to the medallion and started the perimeter of the medallion. But when I picked it up last year in 24 in June for Pride, I did like, you can see that I did like a little bit of the, you know, vines, a couple birds, but then everything that's like inside the medallion, I did all that. Like I thought that the block stitching would get boring, but it did not get boring. And clearly I severely neglected like the rest of the pattern. So now I am suffering the consequences of that. So my plan is going to be to finish these vines. There's only another 160 stitches of vines. Like I am close to being done with the vines, and being done with the vines means that I can then color complete, because I won't have to count. You can see from that upper left corner that like everything is connected to the vines. So I will not need to count. I will say that I think though that the last color that I can do would be green, because the green is also like the little doodads that you can see there. There are also doodads that are like kind of off in the, you know, not quite in the middle of nowhere, but enough that I think I would want the other colors in first. Unfortunately, like green is the most stitches left. So yeah, but like I said, what I think I'm gonna do is I'm gonna get all these vines in, and then I'm just gonna start color completing. And it's gonna be really annoying to be like, stitch that little red triangle thing and then cut my thread off and go stitch another red triangle thing and do it again and again and again and again before I can switch colors. But yeah, so like I said, I'm not enjoying the process of stitching this, but I do love it and I want it finished and I want it done. So we're gonna keep going. It only has 4,200 stitches left, so it's not gonna be even, I don't know. Obviously, I'll work on it again in June for Pride, but I don't know if I can get it done between this month and June. We'll see, because it's just so fiddly, you know, like even though I can normally get 2,000 stitches in on a project when I work on one, I'm not sure that that's going to be the case for this one. But I feel like maybe I could get it close enough that if I just like picked it up one more time in the year, that it could be a finish, because 4,000 stitches isn't that much. I feel like this is the year that I really want to focus on, like, instead of only touching my whips once, I want to touch them 2 or 3 times. to see really good progress. My goal for February, so I know I talked about this a little bit last time, but I don't know that I was explicit about my themes. And this one is actually the trifecta. I have 3 themes for February. Pink, and so that's part of why I did the Pink on Pink project. Birds for February, which was created and hosted by my friend Jessie at Mislaid Pages. And then also theme of love, and or like loosely translated to either has to be about love, as this one clearly is, as it's called Move Forward in Love. But also like projects that I love. And when back in January, Jacob announced that he was going to do I think it's called hashtag Fab alphabets. And I was like, oh, what project do I have with an alphabet? And the only project I have that has an alphabet is My Home in the Garden. And I mean, when I tell you that like I pull that project out and I'm so in love with it, I really think that it might be like the project that I'm the most enamored with. So like, and it does have birds on it. I won't be getting to those birds in my stitching, but at the bottom of it, it does have birds on it. So this one though is the trifecta because it's on pink, it features birds, and it's about love. So yeah, I'm gonna end this clip now and get back to stitching these horrible, awful vines that are killing me. But yeah, I will check in when I decide to put this one down. See you in the next one. Bye. Hey everyone. Today is Friday. Yes, Friday, February 14th. And I am checking in because I am moving on from Move Forward. It has been a little bit of a struggle to get this far, but like I have added so much. I did 2,162 stitches. This is now a little bit over 2/3 complete. My strategy with this was to finish the vines and then just start color completing. So that's what I've been doing. First, I think after the vines, I completed the yellow and then the orange and then the pink and blue. And oh, I think I still had to finish black as well because I had to put in a black bird and a couple of the black little dots in the medallion. Pink and blue, and then I came back to red, and I just finished off finishing red. I did do one strand of green. I definitely should have done more. The green is going to kill me. So when I pick this up next, I really need to bust out some of the green. There's nearly 1,000 stitches left of green. There's also like 700 something stitches of white, but I really need all of these corner doodads to be done before I do white, because as you can see from this top corner, the white goes into here, and so I'm just gonna carry. But so that means I need all of these doodads to be in. So white has to be the last thing I do. I mean, yeah, because I need the green corners in. So yeah, white has to be the last thing I do, but I really need to crack down on doing some green. Yeah, because all these doodads, all these leaves, yeah. So all that's left, quote unquote, all that's left, besides the green, you know, which is in progress, is this blue color and this purple color, and then white. White fills in this part of the medallion, and it fills in all these blank spaces on the 4 sides, and then white fills in all of the centers of the doodads. And these, yeah, so there are still nearly 3,000 stitches, 2,800 and change. So I don't think, I don't know, maybe I could finish it the next time I pick it up, but I don't think so. I think it's gonna require 2 more passes. I think that next time I should focus on making really, really good green progress. And then maybe finish off either the blue or the purple. I think blue had more stitches than purple, I can't remember. And then when I come back to it, you know, finish the green off, finish the purple, and finish the white. But yeah, so I'm moving on, and I think that's all I wanted to say. I did 2,160 something stitches, and yeah, I'm going to have a new start. Let me show you what I'm about to start. Pulled everything for this from my craft room. I did film my tour, and I'm going to be, you should have seen that before you see this. So, okay, hold on. This is the only thing that I don't like about, you know, vlog style is that it's just hard to do everything with one hand. So before I even hold this up again, let me show you what I'm gonna be stitching. I've got it over here pulled up on the tablet. This is called Heart Moon by Bendy Stitchy Design. I know this was a Patreon release 3 years ago now, y'all. 3 years. Because, and I only know that because she titled the file January 2022. And I'm going to be stitching it on this piece of fabric, which I'm pretty sure is a Pictureless Plus. And I'm going to use these 4 Forbidden Fiber Co's to stitch it. Looks like I have pulled. Okay. One hand, y'all, one hand, and it doesn't help when this frame is 11 inches. So I pulled Pearl for the white, Blush and Bashful for the light pink, Ladybug for the red. Ladybug by Forbidden Fiber Co. is one of my favorite, like, darker reds. And Stormy Skies for the gray. So yeah, I'm gonna start this and hopefully finish it because it's only 552 stitches. I mean, I will finish it. When I say hopefully finish it, I mean today, February 14th. But yeah, just thought I would do a cute little Valentine's Day stitch. And then after I'm done with this, I'm going to pick up my Home in the Garden for the Feb alphabet cell. And it is still on theme with, so this is on theme for love. And then Feb alphabet cell will be on theme for, the chart does have birds. I will not be stitching said birds, but it does have them, as well as it's probably like the project that I'm just the most in love with, probably out of all my whips. So, and then I don't know what I'll do. I'll still probably have a week of the month, and I have no idea what I'll do with that. So we'll see, but I'm gonna go ahead and end this clip now and get going on Heart Moon. See you in the next one. Bye. Hey everyone. Today is Sunday, February 23rd. I forgot to do a check-in when I finished the Heart Moon, or Moon Heart, that I stitched on Valentine's Day. I did finish that on Valentine's Day, so I sapped it. And then I decided to pick up my Home in the Garden by Hello from Liz Matthews. And I have worked on it now since the 15th, so for that, it's been 8 days, I guess. I added a little over, I think it was 2,200 stitches, and I did want to get some more done, but the switch has flipped and I'm just like, nope, don't want to stitch on it anymore. So let me show you what I've done. When I picked it up, I added this whole flower, these dragonflies, this flower. I added OPQ. I don't know where exactly the border was, but I brought it down on both sides. I did this flower, I did the beehive, I did the whole box, and then RSTUVWX. So yeah, this is sitting at about 47% done. There's still 7,500 stitches to do. But yeah, like I love this so much. Every time I pull it out, I call it the prettiest damn thing I've ever stitched. Yeah, I don't really know what I'm gonna move on to now. So this fit my Valentine's Day or my February stitching themes because it's probably the project that I love the most. And it does have birds on it, just they're down here. For February, I've been trying to focus on pink, birds, and love, slash either the theme being like it being themed around love or it being something that I really love. So yeah, there's still 5 days left in the month to figure out something else that fits that theme, or those themes, I should say. And yeah, get you a little closer in. It's just so pretty. This border though is a beast, and it's really boring. I had kind of hoped to finish, there's only 2 letters left, and then there are 3 flowers along here, and then, you know, bring the border down more, because then like this whole part of the sampler would be done. Down here is a house and trees and a big like full coverage grass section, and then of course the border comes all the way down and around at the bottom too. And the only thing that I've changed, I made a couple changes. I am stitching this almost all called for. The called for fabric was a 36 count linen from Bestitch Me in the colorway Not Another Sampler. And this is 32 count Jobelin from Bestitch Me in the colorway Not Another Sampler. This sort of light blue color is charted to be similar to 503 green, like DMC 503, which is kind of a greeny color, but the model looks light blue, and so that's what I decided I wanted. Also, the yellows, I changed the yellows. So this border is charted to be this color right here. But when I got it, I didn't pick these out in person. I kitted it up mainly from Acorns and Threads, but like I didn't go in person. I called and had them pull it all and ship it to me. I don't remember why. So this color is supposed to be this border. And then this light color is the charted light yellow. There are only 2 yellows that are charted, which is again, this yellow and this yellow. I picked this yellow to be the border, and I was just gonna use it as my dark yellow. I was going to replace all the dark yellow with this yellow. But when I did it in this flower, you can see that it's really hard to see the contrast. So then when I did this flower, I went ahead and I did my medium tone one with the dark one. And I didn't love that either. And so down here, I actually tried, this is the charted combination of the lightest yellow and the darkest yellow, and I don't like it. So it's like, I don't like this, I don't like this, I don't like this. So I just decided to use the yellows. Typically, if it calls for the light yellow, that is what I'm using, except I think in this one I didn't. And then when it calls for the dark yellow, I'm making choices. So like the Q was called to be the dark yellow and I used it. The T was called to be the dark yellow, but I used the medium. On the beehive, I thought that the darkest and the medium was going to look the best for what I prefer for the aesthetics. But yeah, so there's only 2 charted yellows, but I'm using 3 and just sort of picking and choosing where they go. Thankfully, I am almost done having to make decisions about yellows because I do not particularly enjoy the making the decision part of things. But yeah, so that's it for now. This is gonna go away. I definitely want to work on this again at the very least in September. In September, my plan is to work on things that I've started for my birthday. This was a birthday start in 2023. So yeah, I will end this clip and figure out what I'm going to stitch on next and see you in the next one. Bye. Hey everyone. Today is Saturday, March 8th. I am a bad Flosstuber. I have not filmed a clip in like 2 weeks now. I picked this up, I can't even remember. I should have gone back and watched the last clip I filmed, but I think maybe at the end of the last clip, I didn't know for sure what I was going to pick up. And I decided to pick up this, which was, I should say, or is, I don't know, Caroline Manning's Spring Lilacs. It's one of 4 small charts that were included in one pattern. I started this in May of 2023 for Manning May, and I finished it on March 1st of 2025. So not quite 2 years old, if I can remember. Oh wait, no, I did post this to Instagram. This would have qualified for Michelle's hashtag no more birthdays, or no more birthday Sal, where basically she's happy to celebrate a 1-year birthday of a whip, but not a 2-year or beyond birthday, because this did not turn 2 years old. I had just about 2,400 stitches left to finish it, and I just kind of knew when I picked it up, I was like, I think this is going to be a finish, because I usually put in around 2,000 stitches into a project when I pick it up, and the fact that this only had 2,400 stitches, I was like, that's gonna get me too close to a finish to be able to put it down. I tried to eke it out in the month of February, but I didn't quite manage it. I did get a little burnt out on it, and so I think it took me just a little longer to finish, because I was definitely ready to like move on. But yeah, I stitched this with all the called for DMC on a piece of 16 count fabric from Fortnite Fabric. I believe the color was called Cool, but you can't get it anymore anyways. And yeah, so it's finished. I'm really happy. to have this one done. I kind of have a list of about 6 or 7 projects that I think are within reach this year finishing, and this was one of them. So the reason why, like I said, I finished this March 1st, but here we are, it's March 8th. I think I finished this when everybody was still awake. I didn't finish it when I'm normally crafting in the middle of the night when everybody's in bed. And so I didn't like immediately film a clip. And then I totally forgot. Totally forgot to film a clip. Kind of totally forgot that I still needed to wrap up February. Do a clip to wrap up February and post February stitching. So that's what I'm doing now. Like, here we are, finally. I've been not in the best sleep schedule for being able to film when everybody's asleep. So, but finally I was like, okay, I'm gonna pick this up. I'm gonna film a little clip, and yeah, so now, but before I let you go, I'm going to show you what I moved on to. I have been working on this since I finished the Caroline Manning. Now, have no fear. This is just a jumping off point. This is the piece that, hold on, I gotta actually arrange myself here. Okay, so this is the piece that Mandy from Team 14 Count, Round Robin, picked out for our Round Robin this year. We are doing a Whip My Whip / Start My Start Round Robin, and she had this in her stash, and she really liked the statement. It says, "I collect floss and fabric, buttons and ribbon. A stitcher's passion is her pattern collection." But what she didn't like was sort of how this is a little old-fashioned. This definitely has like a, late 80s, mid to mid 90s, cross-stitch pattern vibe with all the back stitch and kind of drab colors, if we're being honest. And so she was like, I want this to be kind of totally changed up, to be brighter and more fun, and to just kind of be like, because most of the stuff, like the little bird and the plants and stuff, she didn't even like. So she was like, change anything you want. And she started it by changing that bird on the bottom to a black cat to be Stitches, her cat Stitches. And so when I got it and I was like trying to think, what would Mandy want? Mandy is so into like Halloween stitching. And so I was like, I ran with that. And so I am basically tackling from the bottom to the top of the skirt, mostly. And I'll show you what I've done so far. I've done a lot, like 1,700 stitches, a lot. Oh my gosh, I love it. So even though that bottom checkerboard is only charted to be one color and you leave the fabric as the other colors, I just couldn't. I was like, no, I think I need it to be 2 colors. So I effectively doubled my work in the border, or in the checkered border. But I used a purple color. So both the purple and the orange in that checkered border are from Fiberlicious Yummy Fibers. Like I said, Mandy stitched the cat, and then I picked out this lime green color, which is actually called Halloween Green by Gloriana. It was in my stash. It's actually what I used to stitch on the Quirky Quaker cauldron. It's what I used to stitch like the green potion brew inside the cauldron. And then I was like, okay, I feel like Halloween is well represented now. And she was like, I just want it bright. And so being kind of inspired by the like 80s, 90s vibe of the pattern, I was like, let's go 80s, 90s, but in like neon way. So I picked out, let me grab them. Hold please. Okay, so I picked out these 4 colors are actually all Brennan Needle colors. And I bought these when I was at Stitch North last year, which, oh my God, Stitch North is almost upon us again. But I picked these out at Stitch North last year from the Brennan Needle vendor booth. And at the time, I remember just thinking that, like, I feel like these go together. I feel like they are just meant to be in a project together, and I think I was right. I grabbed all 4 of these because I knew that the skirt had 3 colors, and that I could either do the socks in one of the 3 colors I picked for the skirt or a different color. So I did choose to do the socks in purple, as you can see. Okay. And then I started the skirt with this blue color. I had meant to do the more predominant color as blue, but I started, this is like the secondary color. And I started it in blue and I got like 60 stitches in, and then I realized that I had started it as the secondary color, and I was like, well, we're not ripping that out. I guess blue is just the secondary color now. So pink will be the predominant color. Like, you can kind of see how these boxes are formed. Pink is going to go inside these boxes as groups of 3x3. And then on the inside of these small boxes is going to be this yellow color. And then I'm going to, over here where that plant was, I'm going to stitch 3 hearts. And that way myself and Megan and Michelle can all backstitch our initials onto a heart. And I was gonna put a squirrel over here, like a little squirrel and acorn. But honestly, this has been like way more stitching than I kind of anticipated. So I don't think I'm going to. I also think that I have like definitely over chunked, you know, we're aiming to finish these patterns for each other, or at least like get them, you know, ridiculously close to a finish. So basically everybody has to do like a third of the patterns, roughly, or a third of what's left. Like, I sent a pretty far along whip, so did Michelle. So like a third of what's left. But I think I chunked a lot of this pattern. And so I think I will let somebody else decide what's gonna fill up this space that doesn't have, because there's a plant charted there that, again, Mandy was like, no, that can go. But yeah, so I've been really enjoying this. I'm really loving these colors. Like, this is making me really happy. But I am kind of ready. Oh, and then at the top of the skirt, where like the waistband is, I'm gonna do it in black again. I decided to do her pants or her little leggings in black. Because again, that just feels like a very 80s, 90s thing of the like black, or like, you know, leggings, and like those almost kind of like give me like aerobic sock vibes, you know, the like scrunchy, the socks that had like the scrunchy, you know, cuff to them. Yeah, like it just, so I think that's why I'm doing as much as I am, because I just had this vision and I was like, I have to execute the vision. Now, I'm really glad though that this is a round robin and I will be able to pass it on, because I have no idea like how to make her top half kind of match what I've done down here. So sorry, teammates, that is on you. But yeah, so I'm gonna just keep powering on this, I think, until, well, so it's the 8th today. I have a project I want to start on the 14th. And so if this is not done by the 14th, which is in 6 more days, I think it will be, because all I have left is the skirt and the 3 hearts down there. Yeah, that's all I have left, because again, I'm not going to do that. So, I think I can do this in 6 days. But I was gonna say, if it's not for some reason, I will set it down and take a very short break to start my start and work on that for a few days. And then I'll come back to this to finish it. I might need a couple days because I've done about 1,700 stitches. And that, again, I get about 2,000 stitches into something before I'm like, yep, ready to move on. But yeah, so that's gonna wrap up February and, you know, the first nearly a third of March. So I anticipate that when I do post a March wrap up that it's gonna be a little short. But I will get this all edited and up onto the YouTube, and I'll see everybody in the next one. Bye!